I know you are feeling the urge to click off. If you do that, I will find you and eat your skin and scalp.
Level 5 Espers, beings who stand at the peak, a scientific evolution. They represent the endgame, a psychic development, humanity's attempts to turn logic and mathematics into divine power. Their existence alone shows just how far science can push reality when it stops caring about what's possible. On the other side, special grade sorcerers are the ultimate expression of cursed energy. Their strength, technique, and domains make them walking natural disasters, capable of wiping out armies or reshaping landscapes. Both groups are the apex predators in their own universes, but they reach that apex through different paths. The question is, if the strongest of science and the strongest of sorcery ever met, who would stand on top? Special grades measure their strength through cursed energy, an energy born from negative emotions and refined through technique. Their power is spiritual, metaphysical, and highly conceptual. A sorcerer's skill isn't just how much energy they have, but how cleverly they use it. Gojo's Limitless, for instance, manipulates space itself. Yuta's bond with Rika gives him almost unlimited cursed energy and the ability to copy other techniques. Yuki's mass manipulation literally lets her mess with gravity and density, and Geto can control thousands of curses at once. Level 5 Espers are products of science. They manipulate the laws of physics directly through their brain. In Academy City, every Esper ability is linked to an aim field, an invisible aura or personal reality that warps the physical world around them. A level 5's aim field is so strong that their personal reality is far greater and more complex than everyone else.
It is not the aim field that directly warps or bends reality. The personal reality is the main mechanism to warp reality around the Esper. The aim field is only the leftover energy passively generated from personal reality. Everyone who was about to correct me will get kidney stones tonight.
That's why Accelerator can control all vectors. Kahine can create dark matter that literally shouldn't exist, and Mikoto Misaka can turn electricity into a multi-purpose weapon. It's like science's version of magic, except grounded in math and logic pushed to an insane extreme. At first glance, the special grades seem to have the upper hand. Cursed energy feels more flexible, more abstract, and maybe more magical. Domains, for example, guarantee a hit once they're deployed, an ability that doesn't exist in Academy City's science system. But here's where the difference between the two universes start to tilt things in a level 5's favor. The world of a certain magical index is home to far more extreme threats. Magic gods, secret chiefs, and transcendents. Beings who can casually warp timelines or rewrite reality with a thought. The fact that level 5 Espers exist in the same world as those monsters means that their powers have to operate at a much higher baseline just to be relevant. They're humanity's answer to literal gods. They might not be gods, but their power levels are designed to survive in a world full of them. Take Accelerator, for example. His vector manipulation gives him control over the direction and magnitude of any force. That means he can reflect bullets, redirect energy, stop blood flow, or even alter gravity. Every attack that involves movement, which is almost everything, gets instantly negated. Gojo's Infinity might also stop every attack, but Accelerator's reflection can adapt on the fly. If he can't bypass Infinity, he can just add cursed energy into his calculations and tamper with the flow of it within Gojo's barrier, similar to the Inverted Spear Heaven or Black Whip. Against Yuta, Rika's physical attacks or copy techniques would still carry some kind of force, which means Accelerator will reflect them all. Even Yuki's Black Hole, while impressive conceptually, depends on gravitational vectors. And Geto's Army of Curses, each curse moves through space, meaning Accelerator could simply redirect them all or crush them with raw kinetic energy. In a fight like this, Accelerator invalidates their entire power system. But Accelerator isn't even the most terrifying level 5. In my opinion, Kahine's Dark Matter might be the most broken ability and the entire science side. His power lets him produce and manipulate a form of matter that doesn't exist in our universe. Because dark matter doesn't follow our physics, it creates its own rules. Kahine can generate any kind of energy and shape it however he wants, and rebuild his entire body infinitely through the dark matter network that connects every particle he's ever created. When he evolves, his network expands across time and space, meaning he effectively becomes immortal. No matter how much you kill him or destroy his body, he'll just resurrect or reform his body somewhere else. Gojo's infinity can't block dark matter, because Kahine can create energy types that bypass his filters. For example, light and oxygen, which Gojo normally lets through. Even unlimited void wouldn't work, since Kahine's infinite regeneration means it can reappear outside the domain after its destruction. None of the special grades have any effective counters to the level of immortality and universal reach. As long as dark matter exists, Kahine cannot die. Mikoto Misaka, the third ranked level 5, might not match Accelerator or Kahine conceptually, but her sheer destructive output and versatility are off the charts. Her control over electricity means she can manipulate metal, generate EMPs, hack electronics, and fire railgun projectiles at 3 times the speed of sound. Against someone like Yuta or Geto, she'd wipe out their curses or copy Shikigami before they could close the distance. She could keep Yuki at bay with her AoE attacks and avoid her attacks with magnetism, although she'd probably struggle in close quarters combat. Her biggest weakness is stamina and defense. She's still human underneath all that power. Against Gojo, infinity blocks all her projectiles, and domain expansion will trap her completely. Still, her destructive power and speed give her a huge edge in most combat situations. Most Jujutsu sorcerers of the grade 1 to special grade ranks struggle with anything that moves at lightning or beyond, so Misaka's attacks would actually land 90% of the time, which would be especially lethal if it was a railgun. Then there's Sogita, the most unpredictable level 5. Nobody, not even Academy City scientist, knows how his power works. It's described as guts. It seems to get stronger based purely on his willpower and emotional intensity. He can generate psychic waves that shatter the air, block lightning, and even tank large building-busting attacks through sheer determination. Alris, a being close to a god, once said that if Sogita understood his power fully, he'd be unstoppable. In a fight against special grades, he's a wild card. Gojo could still stop his physical attacks with his infinity, but Sogita's psychic pressure waves can put pressure on the other special grades. Against Yuta or Yuki, his raw strength and energy output will keep up with them in a fight. Since he grows stronger, the more fired up he gets. Yuki in particular can infinitely increase her mass, so she and Sogita would probably be punching each other with infinitely scaling attacks. Rika and many of Geto's curses will be wiped out in a single blow, unless they were to open their domains. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Misaki's ability, Mental Out, is all about control. She can rewrite memories, alter emotions, and command anyone she targets. Against most special grades, that's an instant win. Yuta doesn't have any resistance to mental control, and neither do Yuki or Geto. If Misaki gets the first move, the fights end immediately. She could make them turn even against each other. The only one who can survive is Gojo. Misaki's only weakness is close quarters combat. Once someone gets within reach, she's pretty much done. So if she fails to make the first move, she's basically dead. Not every level 5 is as impressive. Don't kill me, but Muguno, for example, is arguably the weakest of the group.
She is the weakest in terms of hacks and versatility. I am not saying she would lose against the other level 5s. She is probably the third strongest in terms of destructive power only.
Except, this guy, but we essentially don't know anything about them, so. But still, Muguno is insanely dangerous. Her meltdowner lets her fire concentrated electron beams that erase matter on contact. It's pure destruction, but her attacks are straightforward and linear, meaning someone like Yuki or Yuta could easily counter or outmaneuver them. Gojo's infinity nullifies the beams before they hit, and Yuta's versatility allows him to adapt and block her shots. Yuki could create immense destruction to throw Mugino off, and Geto could flutter with curses to drain her stamina. Mugino's problem isn't power, it's the lack of complexity. Her meltdowner beams might vaporize anything they touch, but she doesn't have the conceptual hacks or adaptability that makes the other level 5s so dangerous. It's not like the special grades are totally outclassed. Domains are their aces. A sure hit technique that guarantees success the moment it activates could theoretically bypass even Accelerator's calculations if he failed to act on time. And Reverse Curse technique gives them healing capabilities the level 5s couldn't easily replicate. And even Yutusker speech could incapacitate several of them before they even have the chance to activate their abilities. All of these combined to allow some special grades to outlast some level 5s. Special grades are far more experienced in conceptual combat, being forced to fight high-tier threats on a semi-daily basis. They can adapt mid-fight and use techniques creatively. However, I haven't even brought up the fact that level 5s can increase their strength even more using methods like magic or technology, such as Accelerator's Platinum Wings, which allowed him to shake the literal galaxy. And I haven't even brought up the fact they could theoretically be immune to sure hit techniques since he has deflected dimensional teleportation before. And that's not even bringing up the fact that Kahine would still be invincible from almost every attack the special grades can throw, and Miyazaki can one-shot them if she makes the first move. So while both groups are the top tiers in their world, the scale of those worlds isn't the same. The level 5s operate in a much higher stakes universe, which means their feats by design have to be larger. Special grades are already the pinnacle of their world. There's nothing out there that can really test them, or even show them just how weak they really are.